Hello everyone. So in last two videos of maxima and minima, we discussed about the introduction of maxima and minima. What is global maxima, global minima, local minima, the necessary condition for finding the maxima and minima of any function, the sufficient condition for finding maxima and minima of any function, stationary values, and we have done two questions of maxima and minima as well. First was of polynomial and second was of a trigonometric function. Right. So these two questions we have done. Now today we have done some more questions of maxima and minima so that we can better understand how we can find the maxima and minima and corresponding values of maximum and minimum. I repeated many times, and in last two videos we discussed that the values of x are called maxima and minima, and the corresponding values of function is called maximum and minimum values. After putting first order derivative 0 to the given function, we obtain the values of x which are called stationary values. So every maxima and minima are the stationary value. Every maximum and minima are the stationary values, but converse is not necessarily true. So these all things we have discussed in last two videos, and we have done two questions as well, right? So today we will do some more questions so that we can understand better. Next question is, show that the maximum value of 1 upon x raised to the power x is e raised to the power e. I repeat the question, show that the maximum value of 1 upon x raised to the power x is e raised to the power 1 upon e. So basically 1 upon x raised to the power x is the given function, which is, say, y is equal to 1 upon x raised to the power x, or we can say x raised to the power minus x. And we have to find first the maxima of this given function, and after put the maxima into the given function, we will obtain the maximum value of the given function, and we have to prove that the maximum value of the given function will be e raised to the power 1 upon. So question is very straight and quite simple. So this is our given function, which is y is equal to x raised to the power minus x. Now for differentiating, before differentiating this function, before applying the necessary condition for this function, we will take in log both the sides. So taking log both the sides, we obtain log y is equal to minus times of log x. Yes, y ka log y and log x raised to the power minus x, that is minus x log x. Now differentiate. Just a second. Now differentiating both the sides with respect to y, x. So log y ka differentiation 1 upon y dy by dx, and minus x log x the differentiation, we will do it by product 2 minus log x minus 1. How? Minus x as it is, log x the differentiation 1 upon x, that is minus 1, and log x as it is minus x minus 1. So 1 upon y dy by dx is equal to minus log x minus 1. That is dy by dx is equal to minus y times of 1 plus log x. राइट हैंड साइड में से माइनस कॉमन ले दिया और इस y को इधर शिफ्ट कर दिया. सो वी ऑब्टेन dy by dx is equal to minus y times of 1 plus log x. Now put dy by dx 0, the necessary condition for finding maxima and minima. We will obtain minus y times of 1 plus log x 0. That is 1 plus log x is equal to 0, because y cannot be 0, right? If 1 plus log x, y cannot be 0, because if the function is 0 itself, then we will obtain nothing. That's why y cannot be 0. So 1 plus log x will be 0. If 1 plus log x is 0, then this 1 can be written as log e. So log x is equal to minus log e, and we apply the property of logarithmic. We obtain x is equal to e inverse or 1 upon e. It's a simple calculation. We are writing 1 is equal to log e because log base e, log e to the base e is always 1. So log e will be 1 because the base is e, which is invisible here. Because if the base is not mentioned of any logarithmic function, then by default the base will be e. So log e to the base is 1. So minus 1 can be written as minus log e to the base e. Now apply the property log m plus log n by transferring this function into this side and get the value x is equal to e inverse or 1 upon e. Now again differentiating the previous function with respect to x for second order derivative, we obtain d2y upon dx is this. Now after putting this stationary value, because x is equal to 1 upon e is the stationary value, because we are obtaining this value after putting the first order derivative 0. So this is stationary value. This stationary value just put in the second order derivative, just put its second order derivative and calculate. We will obtain negative quantity. It's a simple calculation, we can put it very easily. So we are obtaining negative quantity. Since d2y upon dx2 at x is equal to 1 upon e is negative, therefore x is equal to 1 upon e is the maximum. So x is equal to 1 upon e will be maximum. राइट? और अगर ये मैक्सिमा है तो इसके कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग फंक्शन का वैल्यू जो होगा वो मैक्सिमम वैल्यू होगी. x इज इक्वल टू 1 अपॉन e को जो क्वेश्चन में है फंक्शन उसमें पुट कर दीजिए. वी ऑब्टेन y maximum, that is maximum value of y, which is e raised to the power 1 upon 1, because the function is 1 upon x raised to the power x. तो इसमें पुट किया तो हमको मिल जाएगा मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ द गिवन फंक्शन विच इज e raised to the power 1 upon 1. Hence proof. Now we are taking next question. This is very important question and very logical question actually. Show that the semi-vertical angle of a cone of maximum volume and given slant height is tan inverse under root 2. So we just draw the cone here. This is height of the cone and this is the standard cone which is called right circular cone. This is basically the circular part of the cone and this is perpendicular. The radius of the circular part of the cone r, height of the cone h, the semi-vertical angle alpha and slant height which is given by L. And it is given in the question that the volume of this cone is maximum. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि इस कोन का जो वॉल्यूम है उसको हम मैक्सिमाइज करेंगे और हमें प्रूव करना है and the given slant height is tan inverse under root 2. Show that the semi-vertical angle of a cone. हमें प्रूव करना है कि if semi-vertical angle alpha is tan inverse under root 2, then the volume will be maximum. What we have to prove? We have to prove that if alpha is tan inverse under root 2 or semi-vertical angle is tan inverse under root 2, then the volume of this cone will be maximum. It means, in other words, we have to prove that for alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2, we obtain the maximum or the corresponding value of the function is maximum value. which is maximum volume here, right? So we are defining first the volume V of the given cone. Let V is equal to let V be a volume of the given cone, which is 1 by 3 pi square h. It can also be written as 1 by 3 pi as it is, which is constant. R is radius. You can see it by figure that it's a right angle triangle. So it's a 90-degree, and we can apply the Pythagoras theorem here. Or we can calculate by sine or cos approach as well, because we very well know that sine theta is always equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Sine theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So this is the angle. So sine alpha will be perpendicular, that is R, upon hypotenuse, that is L. So R upon L is equal to sine alpha. R upon L is equal to sine alpha. So R will be L sine alpha. So put R is equal to L sine alpha here. Right? R is equal to L sine alpha here. Now H, height, apply the cos theta formula. So cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse, right? So for this angle, base is actually H and hypotenuse is L. So H upon L is equal to cos alpha. So H will be L cos alpha. So H will be L cos alpha. ओके ये यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा मिसप्रिंट है, ये ऐसे नहीं आएगा. दिस इज एल साइन अल्फा एंड दिस इज एल स्क्वायर साइन स्क्वायर अल्फा. So V is equal to 1 by 3 pi L square sin square L cos alpha, sin square cos alpha. L क्यूब हो जाएगा, सॉरी ये L नहीं है, यहाँ से ये वाला L स्क्वायर हो जाएगा, स्क्वायरिंग, और ये L हो जाएगा, तो ओवरऑल L क्यूब हो जाएगा. So नेक्स्ट टर्म में ये करेक्ट लिखा हुआ है. Just a second. This is correct, absolutely. So pi L क्यूब, यहाँ पे ये गलत है, यहाँ पे L साइन अल्फा आएगा, फिर L का स्क्वायर हो जाएगा और ये वाला L हो जाएगा, तो दोनों मल्टीप्लाई होके L क्यूब हो जाएगा. So V is equal to 1 by 3 pi L क्यूब sin square cos alpha. This is volume. तो हम देख सकते हैं V is dependent variable here and alpha is the independent variable here, because 1 upon 3 pi L cube is constant throughout. So there is only one independent variable here, which is alpha. So we differentiate this function one time with respect to alpha. So we obtain dV upon d alpha. We are differentiating volume V with respect to alpha. dV upon d alpha, that is 1 by 3 pi L cube minus sin cube alpha plus 2 sin alpha cos square alpha. And for necessary condition, we put dV upon d alpha is 0. So we are putting dV upon d alpha is 0. If we put dV upon d alpha is 0, definitely this is constant. This will be directly 0. And take the common sin alpha from this expression. We obtain sin alpha bracket minus sin square alpha plus 2 cos square alpha is equal to 0. It means either sin alpha is 0 or alpha is 0. That is, either sin alpha is 0, then alpha will be 0. So this is first stationary point. And second is, you can see very easily, the second is sin square alpha plus 2 cos square alpha is 0. तो इसको जब हम कैलकुलेट करेंगे ट्रिग्नोमेट्री आइडेंटिटी लगा के, we will obtain tan alpha, tan square alpha is equal to under root 2. That is, tan alpha is equal to plus minus under root 2. So if sin alpha is 0, then alpha will be 0. And if tan alpha is equal to plus minus under root 2, alpha will be tan inverse plus minus under root 2. So it means there will be three stationary points. One is alpha 0, second is tan inverse plus under root 2, and third is tan inverse minus under root 2. Right? Tan inverse minus under root 2 is not admissible. ये possible ही नहीं है, तो इसको हम हटा देंगे. So there will be two stationary points, alpha is equal to 0 and tan inverse under root 2. Now we will find the second order derivative with respect to alpha, that is we evaluate d square v upon d alpha square. So this will be d square v upon d alpha square, right? And put the value of alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2, because we are not interested in alpha is equal to 0, because in the given question we have to prove that alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2 will be the maxima. So we are interested only alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2. If in the question it is not given, then we have to check it independently, right? तो हम सिर्फ यहाँ इसमें interested है. So put alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2 in second order derivative, we obtain negative quantity. What it means? It means the alpha at which this second order derivative is negative, it means this alpha is basically maxima. This alpha is maxima. So alpha is equal to tan inverse under root 2 will be the maxima. Hence proof. अगर हमें प्रूव नहीं करना होता तो फिर हम अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0 को भी चेक करते, कौन सा मैक्सिमा है कौन सा मिनिमा है, सेकंड ऑर्डर डेरिवेटिव में पुट करते. लेकिन चूंकि हमें क्वेश्चन आप देखिए, क्वेश्चन में हमें डायरेक्ट बोला गया है कि दिस इज द मैक्सिमा, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन अल्फा इज इक्वल टू tan इनवर्स अंडर रूट 2. So I hope you understood the question. Okay. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you. So thank you very much. And this is it in maxima and minima. In next videos, we will take something else. Maxima and minima, I hope you all understood very clearly what is maxima and minima, what is the necessary condition, what is the sufficient condition, what is the stationary points. And by taking so many examples, we understood that how we can calculate the maxima and minima, the maximum and minimum value of the given function for any instant for function of one variable. So thank you very much. Thank you all of you.